Hey guys, today we are doing a special episode. The special episode will be about the Bull Lab and how we have made it to 5 years, how we became the Bull Lab, how we rely on faith, and we are just going to let you guys know that what our story is. My name is Kiara Watson. I own the Bull Lab here in Albany, Georgia. So the Bull Lab is a gym. It is a private but public gym. So private means it's not a lot of people here, but at the same time it's for the public. So if you're looking for a place that's not crowded and that you can be able to, come in, get the work done, and just go about your day, this is that location. We have been here since 2021 far as an actual storefront. We have been in business since 2021. This, where we are located now, is our second location, and we have been at this location since 2022. And I'm going to give you the background story on how we became and how we have gotten this far. So, like I like to tell my guests, let's dive in because we do not have a lot of time today. I just got off of my 9 to 5 and I'm about to get ready to start training in about 30 minutes. So I'm going to talk to you guys and just give you a background of how I became and why we are still here and are we going to stay. Let's get into it. So the first question that we are going to do is take us all the way back to the beginning. And the beginning for me is when I started working out for myself in 2017. In 2017, I had my first child, Jace. He's now 8. Don't get me wrong. I think he's 8. So in 2017, I started working out after I had him. And it was just, I didn't feel like myself. And I went through postpartum with Jay. I didn't like the way that my body felt. I didn't like anything that I was doing or how I felt. I went through postpartum, and it turns out that I did have to go back home to live with my mother. After that, I knew that I needed help, and I was not afraid to ask when my parents asked did I need any help. So I did go back home. And when I went back home, I was a manager at a restaurant at the time. So I started working out when before I went to work and when I got off of work. So, that's how I started my workout journey. I decided that I was going to go to the military. But going to the military, I had to lose a certain amount of weight. So I had ended up starting filming my progress on Facebook, motivational purposes. And as I was doing that, people started asking me, different type of questions because I would also post my meal preps that I would be doing. And they was not fancy at the time. It was really just, regular things that I found that was healthy. And I learned a lot throughout the journey. So I had started, regularly posting. And then I did like the first photo shoot at Planet Fitness. I was working at Planet Fitness at the time, working out at Planet Fitness, not working out at Planet Fitness. So I started asking different people on Facebook, like, if you need any help with working out, like you can come and meet me at the gym. I go at this amount of time. And, hey, as long as you have a Planet Fitness membership, you can come and join me and we can do it together. So I had probably 2 or 3 people that wanted to join and started coming with me at 5 a.m. So I had started recording them as well with their agreement and just, showing people that, we're here and we can, help you. And I was doing it for free and just off of, just trying to motivate others to come and join and get back in shape because a lot of my classmates and people that I went to school with had just had babies. So we was like all on the same, we was at the same stage in life, I felt. So, and I felt good with motivating, so I kept posting. So I did not start the business during that time frame because I did get asked, was I a trainer, even though I was saying that I wasn't. And somebody asked me, to come and do a mentorship with them, but I did it for like 2 days, but I didn't like it. So I just, I pulled back from posting on social media for a while. And then I just, I asked God what it was, that he saw fit for me, and that I really was ready to go into the service, and that I was, ready to get my own path going. And I am a church girl. I have always went to church, my home church, Mount Heber Baptist Church off of the south side with Pastor Heath. He knew what it was that I was trying to do and what my path was going. So without knowing, people are always watching you, even when you don't think they are. And this one Sunday, once he got to me, it was somebody on this end, and then it was me, and then it was two more people on this side. And once he got to me, he asked me what did I need prayer for. And I was just, like praying for me and my family to, be stable, and just, be able to have stability with me and my son on our own, because at that time I was still staying with my mother. I didn't have a problem with it, but, as a new mom, you always want to feel that stability coming from you, and that you work hard and that you can provide for your child. So during that time frame, that was mainly what was going through my head. But his prayer that day took my life, and it just gave me like a whole new life. So his prayer at the time was, the path that you see fit for yourself is not the path that God sees fit for you. God sees fit for you to be your own boss. God sees fit for you to be your CEO. God sees for you to work for yourself and provide for you and your family. So as I'm listening to that prayer, I had no clue what he was talking about. Literally, no clue. Because again, like, you're not always thinking about everything that you're posting or that you're doing on a day-to-day. So none of the fitness stuff came to my mind when we in the middle of this church. He's talking and he's saying these things. So in my head, I'm like, what is it that I'm doing right about now? Because he said that I'm already doing it. And then he's also saying, for you to be your own boss. And I'm like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do hair. I don't know how to do the nails. Like, in that time frame, like, you're not thinking about everything that, comes with entrepreneurship. Like, you can be this, you can be that. Like, you're not thinking about that. So me, I was just thinking about like my talents at the time. And I was like, I don't know. But we talked again after we left church, probably like a few weeks later. And then I asked God myself, like, is this, what is it and how do I go about doing it? Because when I tried to do it, when I tried to learn from someone else, I didn't like it. So he was like, write down the things that makes you feel safe when you're in the gym. Write down things that you want to be able to tell women when you're training them, or, let them feel how they want to feel, because sometimes, men come off harsh. Women don't need that all the time. So it's just like, I didn't want to be that drill sergeant without, at the same time still being that drill sergeant in my fitness program. So it took, some planning, some real deal thinking about, what it was that I wanted to do. So I just, probably about April, I took the test and I ended up passing. So I had ended up reaching out to one of the fitness girls here, which is Lex. And I asked her, like, how did you like go about starting? Like, how did you, just asking all the questions, because it's just like, it's something that I'm not, know nothing about, far as like asking people to come and work out with them, like work out with you, and it's not for free this time. So this time they'll be paying. So I asked her, we had a, a long discussion, and she was excited about me being a trainer, but I was still nervous at the same time, because being a trainer, like, you have to be able to take somebody else's journey and guide them through it. And sometimes people, they don't want to listen. And I'm a person that can be very disciplined because of the way that I was raised. Like, my parents were strict. So it's like some things that it's hard for others, it's not hard for me, because it's just like something that I already know. And it's something that I can deal with without having somebody to like tell me what to do. That was my biggest fear when creating this, because I just didn't want nobody to be like, well, I don't want to do that. And then I'm like, well, that's what you need to be doing. So it's always, it's the second guessing that always got me at the beginning. The videos part, that was easy, easy work. Me working out was easy work for, on my own, but trying to teach other people how to do it and telling people, well, this is how, you need to lay off the salt, you need to do this. That is probably the most mind-bothering thing, is that you actually have to tell people what to do and then rely on them to take it home and do it, because at the end of the day, everybody's grown. So it's like you can't really tell somebody else grown what to do. And that's probably like the whole battle between the fitness industry and regular people, to people that like to work out. If they really want it, they're gonna do it. So that is how we got started, just off of that one prayer that day. I took it, I ran with it, and I fed off of it. And I'm still feeding off of it to today, because the fact that I keep re-saying it over and over again, is verbatim, word for word, what he said. It means a lot to me, because it's just like, that's something that gets me through the day, is what he told me that day. And then to have witnesses to hear him and still remember the same thing, even when I tell the story, it's like it was meant for me, not to give up. And even though the times do get very hard, I just try to, keep saying what he said. Like, this is what God saw for me, even before I saw it for myself. What was the biggest challenges you have faced in the early days, and how did you overcome it? The biggest challenges that I faced was people in the industry, in my community, saying that, she don't know what she doing, or she's not gonna make it. Those were the biggest things that, in my early career, that really, bothered me the most. And it was like, it kept feeding. It was like, at one point, it was nonstop. Just kick. That was like every week. They don't know what they're doing, this and that. Like, so to me, I overcame it by not listening, to stop listening, to stop responding, and to just quiet the noise. The more that I can quiet the noise that's around me, the more that I can be focused on what it is that I want to do in my business, and what it is that I want to do in my business. I don't even care for having the building. I really just want to be successful in helping others. And like I say all the time, like, it's not even about the money to me, because God saw fit for me to be doing this, and I've been trying to fulfill what he has said to me in 2020. Spoke that over me, and I got my LLC in April of 2020. So I have been relying on that ever since he said that. And I had a full-time job that paid good money, and I done had plenty of part-time jobs. it done been to a point where I done worked 3 jobs and I still started training. I still did my training on the side. So, you know, the biggest things that I have had to face was the outside noise and just blocking it out. Those, when you can block it out and you can let it go, those are the biggest accomplishments that you can have for a business, because people gonna say what they gotta say, but at the end of the day, like, if it's for you, it's gonna be for you. So did you know you wanted to be a business owner, or did something specifically push you into entrepreneurship? Something definitely pushed me into entrepreneurship. I did not see this as being my life. I did not want to be an entrepreneur. I like, this was never on my radar, like, whatsoever. This was that day, what I just told y'all. Pastor Heath, he spoke it over my life, from what God told him. And when he said it, I went to my notebook, I went to my family, and we've been going ever since he said that. Like, once he said it, I talked to different people. I talked to my God. I journaled about it, and we've been on the grounds running ever since. So no, I did not want to do this. No, I never wanted to be a fitness influencer, trainer, none of that. Like, I just personally like to work out. That's just been me ever since high school. I played basketball. My daddy was the coach. And that's just being honest. Like, I liked to work out. Like doing that. So not knowing that was, going to play a big role in my life, because those workouts that I learned in high school is really like the workouts that I started posting on Facebook and doing all those things. Like, I used to go walk on the treadmill for 2 hours, like, without even thinking about it, just being in my own world, watching a show on my phone. Like, that's just something that I had no problem doing. But I wanted to get others interested in working out at the beginning, because again, like, most of the people that I knew, we was fit when we was in school. Everybody had nice shape. So I was like, shoot, like, spread the word. Planet Fitness, it's like $10-15. It's $20. Like, y'all spend that on food, on gas. Like, you can always come, Planet Fitness, get you a membership, and I'll work you out, like, without an issue, without a problem. So that was my motivation behind it in the beginning. I just been moving ever since. It says, how did your faith influence your decision to step out and start your own business? That my faith was strong, but being a business owner, stepping out on what he told me, made my faith even stronger, because it was something that I had to rely on at the beginning. Well, still to this day, I have to rely on it today. But in the beginning, I went to him about everything. Like, is it like, do I need to be doing this? How am I going to talk to these people? Because for one, I don't like to talk to people. So it's almost like, you're going to have to give me the words to encourage these women, because I can encourage myself, but I need some more strength to be able to encourage someone else, to be able to, let go of what you thought about and do it, this way. So I would say my faith was the main reason that I ever stepped out, because without him saying that, I would have never, ever, I would have never started this business. I literally would have been leaving for the military, and I was ready to go. But 2 weeks before COVID hit, my pastor said those words to me. So it was almost like this was meant for me to be here. And even through all the hard times, all the things that have happened throughout my journey, I have always relied on my faith. Even if I'm not going to church every Sunday, I still talk to the Lord. I still walk through every room and pray. I still talk to him throughout the day. So my faith influenced a lot on this journey. Like, it's almost unbelievable. I don't care about, going different places. As long as we have, the lights on at the gym, the water working, they got water in the refrigerator, they got weights that they can use, it's clean. We gonna rock it out until God say close those doors. So that's how my faith has influenced me being an entrepreneur. Were there moments when you doubted yourself or the business, and how did your faith help push you through? Baby, that one right there. Okay. We are doubting ourselves right now. Even with us having our 5th year anniversary coming up, it's not even like doubting. It's almost like, God, do I need to continue to do this? But I'm gonna backtrack on when I was pregnant with my daughter at a gym before I got my own location. A certain situation took place, and it made me question, like, do I need to continue to do this? And if I do continue to do this, where would I go? Because I was not ready to have my own location. But at the same time, my husband was pushing me. He said, hey, like, you can do this. Like, I've watched you. Like, my husband, he used to come with me every day to the gym when he first moved back home. He used to come with me every day to the gym and watch me train like 17 women at one time. So it's just like, I doubt it a lot, but at the same time, when you talk to God all the time, he's going to show you that you can't doubt me. Like, I told you what you was going to do, and I'm also going to put you in the position to make you grow even more. So God put me in that position to make me get my own location, and he had my husband to do it, because if my husband would have never said, I have faith in you that you can do this by yourself, I probably would have never, signed that first lease. And even when it was just, oh, it's nothing. It's just 1,000 square feet. That 1,000 square feet, I worked it like it was 2,000 square feet. Like, I didn't care. We had, like, all we had was dumbbells, mats at the beginning, and some bands and some balls. Like, at one point, I probably had 17 people in one room, and they were like, you couldn't even tell if they were uncomfortable or not. And shout out to those people that stayed with me during that time frame of transitioning from that gym to my first location, because I'm telling you right now, I was ready to quit. I had told my husband, like, we're about to get ready to have Corey in like 2 or 3 months. Like, it's no need to, put more on us than what, but he said, no, like, we're gonna put this on you, and you're gonna make it work. And I did. I listened, and we made it work. The first time when we signed the lease and got the keys, the lights was not on because the city did not come and turn them on. But I was so excited that we painted the whole building in no lights. We just used the outside windows that the sun reflected in, and it was no power in there. So we had to take breaks. I was pregnant, and yeah, so those were moments that I really doubted myself, and I pulled through. But I also pulled through with God. I pulled through with people supporting me and giving me those encouraging words, because without having that support system, I don't think I would have kept it going like I did. Do you feel your business is also part of your purpose and calling? Yes, I do. I feel like that is a purpose and it's my calling, but your purpose and your calling can also change. So always be aware of when the seasons come, things can change, and don't be afraid of the change. What's one lesson you've learned in business that you wish you knew when you started? I wish I knew about business credit. When I was in my mother's yard, when I was at Body Works, the first gym that I worked at, I wish I would have had, I wish I would have been doing, my business credit then versus doing it once I got into the building, because building your business credit allows you to have more freedom when you get the location, because the location, it brings more bills, it brings more needs, it brings more, like every time you turn around, like it's just like your house, like it needs more, it needs this, it needs that. Like you can start off with the small things, but as you keep going, like you building your business credit. So I did start building my business credit, but I wish I would have built my business credit in the beginning before I got a location. How has it been a business owner change your personal over the last 5 years? Changed you personally? Changed me tremendously. I don't care about going out. I don't care about anything, to be as I show up for my clients, as long as we have a clean facility, as long as we have a fully stocked gym, as long as we have equipment that works. I don't care about none of that. Outside of business, I make sure that we take a family vacation. That is like my only priority, is that my house, my home, my business is A1. And A1 means everything is, the refrigerator is stocked. The kids, they don't have to worry about anything. They going to school on time. They getting fed. Like all the other stuff, I don't care nothing about. I don't drink like that. They'll tell you quick that I'm gonna say no. I don't care, as long as, like, if we building business, we talking business, we collaborating with different people, we meeting more people, like those are the things that I'm trying to do in my year 5. Going 5 and up, I'm trying to make some change. I'm trying to have more results when it comes to my clients, trying to pressure them to, hey, you need to be doing this and that and that and that. That is the only thing that is on my mind, and graduating with my master's degree. So I am in school right now. Looking back now, what are you most proud of as you celebrate your 5th year anniversary? I am most proud of not quitting. Not quitting when the days were long, when I had no clients in the afternoons, where I had 5 clients in the early morning. I'm proud of not quitting. Things do get very rough, and you have life, you have personal, you have business. All of those are 3 different things. And life is you, like, how you putting yourself first. Because for a long time, I did not put myself first. I put everybody above me. And you could tell, like, a very much difference when I started doing that. And then I prayed for a job to help me finance the gym. And in year 4, I ended up getting a job. And then I prayed to get back in school. And in year 5, I finally was able to get in school and to work towards things that, so I'm proud of the answered prayers that I prayed to my God, and they happened, at the time that they were supposed to happen for me, and that I didn't rush things. So now that, talking to y'all, talking about the journey and how I became is very much a blissful moment, because I went from being KBull Fitness to the Bull Lab, to having the Bullets, the Bullseye Mentorship, to having the Bull Strong podcast. Those things, those incentives, those Thanksgiving food drives, from feeding 200 people to feeding 350 people, to having 5 people show up, to having 12 people show up. Like, I'm thankful for the small wins that I have had throughout this journey, because there's been multiple times that I've wanted to quit, but talking to my clients, getting their feedback on how we need to go about doing these different things, these different outlets, I'm here to support them. So if I get their feedback and they're giving me positive feedback on how I am, those are the things that I'm proud of, because we have been able to help and build and, a lot of different things. We've been able to sponsor different athletes throughout the year. We've been able to help different teams. I'm great. I'm blessed that I have been able to use my platform, my name, to do all those different things and to create a safe place for people to come in and go out of, and just come in here and be themselves and listen to what it is they want to listen to. And most of the time when they turn the radio on, I'm shocked that it's gospel music, but because you just don't get that from everybody. So being around like-minded people, collaborating with like-minded people is just a blessing, and I want to continue to do more, but I also want to help who I can't reach. So that's why we started talking. That's why we started the podcast, because you never know the audience that you're going to be able to reach. So the last question says, what's next for you and your business in years to come? I kind of just told y'all, but I want to be happy in the work that I have done. I'm trying to not to cry this whole podcast, but I want to be, I want to help more, but I know that I can't want it for somebody else. So they're going to have to want it for themselves. They're going to have to want to do it. And it becomes easy. And I want to be back happy with working out, because right now I'm just focusing on my clients, work, school, and my kids. So all I got to do is eat right and, push them. So that's like my main focus right now. And I want to be able to, in the next couple of years, be able to be the body that I want to be. And that's mentally, physically, and spiritually. I want to be able to reach more people than what I'm already doing. And I also want them to feel safe in coming to this gym, because I make sure that it's 100% all the time. It's fully secure. It's, this is a safe place. This is your home. And I'm grateful for all the people that have came through the doors, that I was able to help, that I was able to pour into, because without y'all, I would not still be here. I would be, in my own bubble. So I'm glad that people were able to, bring me out of my shell and continue to grow for 5 years, because being an entrepreneur is not easy, but it's a blessing. So we're going to be grateful, and we're going to give ourselves grace, and we're just going to say thank you. So that is my story on how I became KBull, the Bull Lab. So I think I did not say I opened my first location on August the 28th, 2021. And that was 1,000 square feet. And then I opened my second location, which we are currently in, August 28th, 2022. And we are at 3,000 square feet. So one day I do want a warehouse. But when the time comes, he's going to do it. I know he is. Because he would have never sent me down this road if it was not for me. So I just want to say thank you to my family for supporting me. Thank you to my husband for holding it down. My kids, this is their jungle gym. To all my clients that have ever, came, I thank you. And to the community that has supported me. And with all my endeavors, thank you to all the coaches that have allowed me to train their athletes. I just want to say thank you. I am beyond blessed, but we're going to keep going. And I just want to say this is a wrap. Oh.